Come here, Hunka. Come here, pup. That's a good boy. Come here. Got my my puppy here. Yeah, my heart goes out to Vibra Finance. I think you lost your puppy friend. Went into the next phase, passed on. So sorry to hear that. I'm here with my pup, and yeah, he's my best friend too. So yeah, man, sorry. Ah, yes, life and death, or life and yeah, it's a passing, right? It's a passing from the material realm to the next phase, whatever one believes. Hmm. All right. What am I talking about? There's a big part of me that just wants to talk art or um, art. I just finished writing a book while I'm carving and while I'm doing crypto and while I'm doing my business and while I'm parenting. I've been writing a book, a novel, and I about 2 nights ago I finished the first draft. I think it's pretty good. I think it's a cool story. Just came out of me. So yeah, there's that. All right. Let's see, what did I write? What does the EROS Web on Pulsechain have to do with Teddy Bear, P-Dye, and Lotus? I don't know. It's a good question. Let me ask the question again. If anybody's here, they can answer the question for me. What does the EROS Web on Pulsechain have to do with Teddy Bear? Okay, I see that. I know why I put Teddy Bear first. And then P-Dye, I know why I put it second. And then Lotus, I know why I put it third. Okay, so the EROS Web on Pulsechain, what it has to do with Teddy Bear, P-Dye, and Lotus. First of all, the EROS Web is built around the EROS protocol. It's a PTGC fork that's been the subject and the object and the focus of a community migration of value from Titanx on Ethereum to Titanx on Pulsechain, right? And there's a lot of Titanx migrating to Pulsechain, which is the larger story. And one of those migrations, there's the Janus Web associated with Helios DAO. There's the Zara Web, which is connected to Janus and the EROS Web, which I'm going to talk about. The Zara Web is Lotus, Eden, Smoke, Shao, and everything it's connected to, both in the Janus, I hope I'm saying that right, Janus, Janus web, and then also the EROS web, right? And so the Zara web connects, is a connector web. The EROS web is built around the EROS token and the EROS protocol. It's a fee sharing token. It's was airdropped to Liquid Titanx holders over a year ago. And as I said, it's the focus of a community migration of value. Okay. And so why Teddy Bear and P-Dye? Part of it is I'm preparing. I'm talking to I've followed him for a while. His name is on Twitter and on YouTube, Coexistence Steven, and he's a Tropa P-Dye Bear head, right? He's been educating about, learning about not just crypto, but consciousness, meditation, and the connection between the Atropa web and PDI and Bear. So anyway, he and I connected around Teddy Bear, partially because I've always liked Teddy Bear. It's the OG Teddy Bear. It's part of the Atropa dev system. Now, I'll find out from Steven tomorrow. I'm on his stream tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. He and I will be dialoguing, and he'll share about Teddy Bear and PDI and Atropa and the current thinking there. Yeah, my piece of it is I'm going to share how we're connected through Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear is our deepest LP pool. Partially because one of our community members is a teddy bear head like me, and so I'm in that pool. I'm in the EROS bear pool, and we like that pool a lot. It's the EROS bear pool. It's where divine love of EROS meets true love of teddy bear, of a teddy bear, right? And so it's divine love, true love in a power DeFi LP pair, right? So there's that. So that's Teddy Bear. So we're connected to the Atropa web through Teddy Bear and also through PDI, also through Atropa. But Teddy Bear and then PDI are two biggest pools with the Atropa web, and so it's how EROS and how the EROS as the Titanx index token gets connected to the Pulsechain world, and in this case, the three critical tokens in the Atropa web, which is PDI, Atropa, and Bear. And Coexistence, Stephen can correct me if I'm wrong, that those are the three major tokens. So, okay, so that's Teddy Bear and PDI. We like those. I like those pairs because whatever one thinks about whether or not PDI is going to be a decentralized stable coin like some people think, what I can tell you from my experience is that as a speculative play, PDI is very powerful. A lot of people are talking about it right now. Richard Hart is talking about a a direct mail marketing campaign involving a battery, and there's all kinds of speculation about how Richard Hart, and how the Pulsechain community is going to market this coming bull cycle. And as of July 5th, there will be no regulatory impediments to Richard Hart, Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex. There will be no regulatory impediments. The SEC is letting go as of July 5th. When that happens, I just think it's going to kick off a chain reaction of, it may not happen right away, but I think July 5th, which is coming soon, at least in this country, is symbolic of freedom, right? Freedom to assemble, freedom to speech, freedom to transact. So I think we're going to see migration of capital with the regulatory assurances that Pulsechain has now. You're going to see capital running back into Pulsechain, and that's what we're part of. That's our migration from Ethereum to Pulsechain, is to take advantage of the Pulsechain bull run that I think is going to be explosive. And so those of us who are doing that really like that what we're doing is migrating assets to pair with strength on a blockchain that we think is going to be explosive over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. So yeah, so that's teddy bear and P die. I think that the Eros bear pair is right now my favorite pair, just because I like Eros, Divine Love. It's a hyper deflationary fee sharing token, so it's a very strong token and asset on its own. It's real DeFi. It's a PTGC fork. And so it's fully automated. There's no humans involved. All there is human holders. And we're intending to build a diamond hands culture around the Eros tokens so that we educate self and each other about how do you get in and out responsibly, how do you build long-term sustainable LP pools, how do you come together in aligned interest, and not necessarily everything has to be dog eat dog. So we're intending to be a collaborative, education focused protocol that welcomes newcomers in and educates people as opposed to shills people. And so it's heavy on education and personal autonomy and making good choice for self, right? And I'm doing this personally because I'm already heavily invested on Ethereum, mostly through the Ouroboros protocol and Ethereum, and my Titanx and DragonX on Ouroboros. But on Pulsechain right now, I'm merging my Ethereum Titanx value with my Pulsechain value, with Pulsechain and with Teddy Bear and with PDI, and with UFO, to put it into the Pulsechain side of the EROS Web. Okay, so that's Teddy Bear, PDI. Okay, why Lotus? Lotus, for those of you who don't know, or those of me who don't know, Lotus is a built on Titanx protocol. It had a bug in the staking contract way back when. Right now, it is a very scarce cap supply. In essence, it's a deflationary meme token. So it's Lotus. And we have migrated a lot of the value to create scarcity on Ethereum. We've migrated a lot of the value. A lot of the big holders have now migrated value and are holding Lotus in different LP pairs on Pulsechain. One of those big LP pairs that we're holding, that I'm in and that others are in, and that we just had a new infusion of capital into, is the Eros Lotus pair, right? And so part of the idea of the Eros Web is to give new life to build on Titanx programs that needed new life, that had hit bottoms. And so Lotus and Eden had hit bottoms, and since we reclaimed them and we're buying low on Ethereum, migrating value and putting them into the web, since we've done that, Lotus is about 12x off the bottom. It was very low, and we're 12x off the bottom, and we've migrated a lot of value, and we're putting it to work in pair with Eros, right? Same thing with Eden, okay? So that's what Lotus, PDI, and Teddy Bear have to do with the Eros Web on Pulsechain. So, okay. I think what's going to be happening, and this is me, I think that there's going to be, it looks to me like Titanx, people will disagree, but I think Titanx has hit a bottom. It could go lower, but I feel like it's hit a bottom. I think Pulsechain also could go lower, but it feels like if it hasn't hit a bottom, it's really close, but I think it has hit a bottom. And that means everything built on, oh, and the same thing with Ethereum, right? And so I think what we're going to see is Ethereum taking off in July, Pulsechain maybe front running that a little bit and maybe leading Ethereum. That would be really sweet. I could see that happening. And so what we're doing is positioning ourselves and I can speak for myself. When I say about ourselves, it really is the collective Gambit Degen. Only one way, but up, close to a bottom. Yeah, man, that's right. I mean, close to a bottom, only one way, but up. That's right. I mean, look, um, well, the thing with crypto, fortunately, or it can go lower than I think it can, right? It feels to me like we've hit a bottom in Titanx and we're coming off the bottom and we're heading towards, keep an eye out for Shreyok's ecosystem paired to Titanx, paired to all the bots. No, man. Yeah, I think the Shreyok's ecosystem paired to Titanx, yeah, I think that's volatility is the price we pay for mad gains. Yeah, I think the Shreyok's ecosystem is dead, man. I think that ecosystem's dead. Yeah, fortunately, I mean, I didn't put any assets into it. I don't know what happened there. I considered Shrey one of my anonymous art friends, and I don't know what happened, but I didn't invest there. Volatility is the price we pay for mad gains. Yeah. Yeah, but the truth is also is like, from what I hear is there were signs on the wall, right? And so part of the reason, um, I like protocols when you sure might just surprise me. I'm not sure of anything, man. It might just surprise me for sure. I have no idea. Yeah. What happened? They launched a token on my name, Chiz. What happened? They launched a token on my name, Chiz. Oh, huh. Who's Gambit Degen, man? Huh. They launched a token on his name. Huh. Gambit Degens. I don't know. All right. I'm going to stay away from that. When they launched how? Ah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. All right. I don't want to get distracted by what I don't understand. Um, yeah, I went into the House of Warlords chat and would share art just because I like sharing art, and I considered people over there my friends. But I also didn't understand what was going on. So, in crypto, all one big lie. Be safe, Chiz. Thank you. All right. All one big lie. Agree. Take care of yourself. Straight ox. Right on. Yeah, man. Everyone's got to. I mean, look. I mean, the thing is that I um, I have to make decisions for myself. I am the only one responsible for my investments. And in the anonymous world of decentralized finance, where there is a lot of smoke and mirrors, there are a lot of smoke and mirrors, I just have to do the research and make investment decisions for myself and for my family and for my canine friends. That's all I can do. And to spread, decent education. Right, man. If that's Shrey, peace, bro. Yeah, peace to everybody. Anybody that comes to me in peace, I have this attitude of the benefit of the doubt as long as, I can take care of self, right? Totally protect oneself. Absolutely. Yeah, man. So, okay, where were we? So, which is the power actually of true DeFi? On the spectrum of fully centralized where humans have control, there's the other spectrum of true DeFi, permissionless DeFi, where there's just an automated protocol operating on the blockchain. It's one of the reasons why I like EROS, right? It's there is no DAO, there is no team, there is no treasury. It's automated, and it's been operating for over a year flawlessly. And for people that say that they want to, they want to assure that it's safe, I'm like, yeah, man, I would say go check it out. Right? It's been operating for over a year, and there's no humans involved other than the holders. Always two sides of the story, Chiz. Yeah, man. Always two sides of the story. Exactly. Yeah. Enjoy nature and rest is history. Yeah, man. Totally protect oneself. Yeah. Well, okay, so let me speak to that. There's always two sides of the story. This is true, right? Um, I'll speak from experience. Even in real life, and I think this DeFi thing is real life, but in real life, for many years, I was a lawyer and a mediator. Okay, and I mediated some pretty intense stuff, some violent conflicts, some business conflicts, some partnership conflict, a lot of conflicts and divisions. And so I am pretty intuitive and experienced with this kind of stuff. And one of the things that I did learn, whoever this is that's saying, right, there are two sides to every story, it's Gambit Degens. I believe that there are two sides, and almost always when there are more than two people involved, there are multiple sides to every story, and there's some version of the truth. And in a world of truth and lies, right? There's each of us has to make for our own decisions, our own truth, especially with the all of the misinformation and yeah, and so increasingly I have to make decisions for myself about the truth. And so that idea that I don't know the story is real. I do not know the story. And by the way, there there is a carving back there, right? That is dedicated to that story, right? And just because that House of Warlords thing broke, I don't know what the story is, and I'm not even looking for the story, but I will tell you that there is a carving there that was dedicated to it, right? And the carving is dedicated to truth, whatever that is, right? And unfortunately, it's my version of because I'm the creator of that, in partnership with the wood and with nature, I get to create the narrative. Always two sides of the story. Yeah, man. Ah, people are so complicated. People are complicated. Yeah. So, uh, mm. So I'm really bullish on PDI right now. I'm really bullish on Teddy Bear, on Bear right now. And I'm really bullish on Lotus. And I'm really bullish on EROS. Those are the four tokens and LP, pairs that I'm working right now just because I own them. I own a piece of them and I have a stake in them. And I've built totems around them. And when I do totemic art for these kinds of things, they explode. And so they've got Juju, they've got crypto DeFi fundamentals, and they have a chart that is reflective of no big sellers. And that's really important. This idea that it's not that there will never be sellers, it's that it's hard to tell exactly, probably between 20 and 40 good size holders that have wallets that are active and that are accumulating, right? As opposed to selling. There are wallets that are also selling. That's important. We need buyers and sellers, and we want more buyers than we have sellers. And right now, we have, an increasingly diamond hands holder group for EROS. I think because it's a fundamentally sound protocol that is deflationary and that is starting to pair with strength on Pulsechain, and we get the leverage of Titanx on Ethereum, right? Because EROS is in essence the index of Titanx on Pulsechain. So it's the index of Titanx on Pulsechain paired with select Pulsechain gems that people in our community like to pair with. So I like to pair with Teddy Bear, PDAI, Pulse, right? Those are the things that I have and that I believe in and that I want to ride up with in the bull market, right? So let's see. Gambit Degens. Now I'm curious. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate, but we need to move on. The thing is, with any time there's a breakdown in a community and in a protocol and in an asset, people get hurt. And a lot of times nobody knows what happens. And so one of the fallouts was, at least in the Titanx community, that remains, there's a dialogue about, that a lot of the intended ethos was to prevent breakdowns from happening. But breakdowns do happen. They happen between developers and communities. They happen in community projects, which is why transparency in a protocol and being able to look under the hood and to be able to have insight into who's driving the protocol, who owns the token, and what is the ethos, not of the whole ecosystem, but of the token and the community of holders, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the token that represents value in the protocol. And so, yeah. All right. Anything else? Always two sides to the story. I think that's it. I think I'm done. Unless people have questions. Gambit Degens. It was good to dialogue. What happened? They launched a token on my name, Chiz. It's unfortunate. Why did, when they launch, how? All one big lie. Huh, be safe. Oh, I think I know who this is. I agree, take care of yourself. Totally protect oneself. Always two sides. Yeah. All right, man. Peace out. Whoever you are, I don't want to make any judgments. Peace out to you. Anytime I do this, the intent is to uplift self and anyone else who's paying attention. It's to uplift and to spread positivity, positive mental attitude, health, wealth, mission of service beyond self. There's never an intent to divide and conquer. It's always the intent to uplift. If I am going to divide and conquer, it's going to be privately and no one here will know about it. If I'm putting it out here, it's because I have something to share, either art or crypto or some sort of educational path. And in this case, it's about how to get access to, like, I guess what I would consider not quite a lottery ticket, because it's not as risky as a lottery ticket, but in a crypto portfolio, it's maybe 2 to 5%. This initiative of getting in early to build on Titanx protocols and pairing with Pulsechain. It's very early. These are startups, right? And so I believe, like, I'm decreasing the risk by being involved in the beginning and participating in the culture, but it's still high risk, high return. But it's a good time because we're about to ignite the altcoin bull run. And if I'm wrong, but I can feel it coming. If I had to guess, we're gonna have like two more impulses, two more impulses. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. I think if I had to guess, Pulsechain is going to front run Ethereum a little bit, just because I think it is, and I can feel that coming. And what else? Yeah. All right. I think I'm done. Peace out. And whoever this Gambit Degens is, peace out to you too. Be safe.